It's Camera Shop Talk for April. Oh my gosh, I put the wrong date. What date am I? What date am I looking? It's April 6th, everyone. And I put April 4th.
It's April 6th, and
I don't even know how to edit it. How do you edit it? There we go. There we go. Whew. Man, you sit inside. You sit inside and
oh my
you don't go outside. And
can you hear that?
I can hear it. It sounds like someone's like.
It's just we just have like massive wind over by me right now. It's kind of cool. It sounds cool.
It's windy. Well, it's supposed to snow on Sunday. That's pretty crazy, right?
Oh, I thought we were done. I thought we had.
Man, it's Colorado, man. We're not done till Mother's Day, bro.
Okay, well,
yeah,
that's fine. At least I have plenty of hair. That'll hopefully keep me warm. I don't know what to do with my hair anymore.
Your hair, yeah, me either, man. It's getting out of control. I missed my barber before this, and now it's growing and growing and growing. And so
the one industry that will come back after coronavirus is going to be
the local barbershop.
Yeah,
man. So we're here. It's just Mitch and I today. We're gonna have guests on later in the week, but we wanted to kind of talk photography. I'm cutting my head off. My gosh, get yourself together, Kyle. But what I wanted to start off with today, Mitch, and we talked about a little bit before we started the whole going live just now, but that wedding photographer, the photographer on TikTok that interrupts the wedding photographer in the middle of his time with the bride and groom. I don't know if it was before or after. I haven't read that much into it, but just like on first impression was kind of like, whoa, that dude first had some cojones, to walk up to a bride and groom.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess that comes with having, especially any like internet influence. I would call this guy an influencer at this point,
right?
Mm-hmm. And so anybody that has that big of a following is probably hungry to do the next dramatic thing to wow people and get more people interested.
Right.
And I would assume that was more of a thrill factor thing as opposed to look how good of a picture I can take. Because respecting that guy too, he does take nice photos of people. I mean, they're kind of repetitive, but they're still good quality images. But yeah, it's kind of a no-no.
Right.
Like you would pretty much just let that photographer work, right, instead of getting in the way. I guess it would have been worse if they weren't in transition from location to location. It's not like the photographer was in the middle of a session with them or a portrait session with them. I don't know. I guess my initial instinct on that is to think that the photography would be, or the main photographer of that wedding would be really annoyed. Right. But maybe he just didn't. He honestly might not have cared. He might have been like, "Oh, that's kind of cool." It's kind of hard to know.
We just asked my roommate AD, and he was like, "I probably would have just asked the couple. They're paying. So if you want to sit down, then sit down and let the couple get their picture taken by this Instagrammer and then go on." You were comparing it to like someone with an iPad.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. It seems like that. I wasn't there. It's hard to we get like a 1 minute clip into this event that took place, so it's really easy to look at it and go, "Oh, what a jerk!" I can't wait. I can't believe he interrupted this people. I actually didn't even watch the whole thing. I saw the beginning of it, and I saw, because I think I follow this guy on TikTok, and I saw him just briefly go up to, and then I got interrupted by something else, but I saw him go up into approaching a bride and a groom, and I was like, "Oh no, dude. You're not. No way, man. Don't do it.
Don't do it. Don't do it." I mean, that guy caught a lot of heat on Twitter. That's where I saw it. I didn't even see it on TikTok. I saw it on Twitter. People were sharing that dude's TikTok, and he was like, "You would have done that with my." And a lot of them were sports photographers, all right. So they have a chip on their shoulder already because they're used to, getting told where they can and can't take photos, and really bad situations, workrooms in the bathrooms and stuff like that. So. They're already, in a mood. Sports photographers, not that's a bad thing, but yeah, sports photographers are just gonna like kind of kind of throw that dude under the bus. And he's like, "You're gonna catch these hands if you if you step in front of my couple." So that was the reaction on Twitter that I saw.
I want to make sure we're talking about the same.
I mean, what else? There's been two.
Well, I don't know. I mean, this guy's got a lot of videos, so I don't know if it's been. I think his name is Alex Stemp.
Oh, I don't want to.
Because Katie's asking, are you guys talking about that?
You're gonna. Oh, there we go.
Viral post.
But yeah, we're talking about the viral post. Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy who stepped in like San Francisco, something like that, took a couple photos of this couple. Now I went to the actual photographer's Instagram because I saw it linked from Petapixel, and the dude had some pretty nice stuff. So
he does it. Yeah. I mean, they're very trendy photos. Photos. Yeah. Like smoke bomb photos. But it's, which I actually like those smoke bomb photos. I'm going to be honest. There's actually a lot of trends, a lot of photography trends that,
come and go
that I like a lot.
Do you like spinning like steel wool?
Yeah, some of them are creative. It depends what you do with it. I think it's harder to make a interesting one now because it's so overdone. But if you I still think it's a cool technique or event, or it's just fun to do, especially if you're just getting started.
Right.
It's like, if you're not trying to take the best steel wool photo ever, you just want to try it to see if you can do it yourself. It's like fun because it's relatively safe. I mean,
kind of.
There's a risk to set something on fire, but fire's sometimes fun. So,
set something on fire, take a picture of something on fire.
Yeah. I love taking pictures of fire. Actually, that's like one of my favorite things.
Just don't do it on like antique boats that are like in like everyone likes to take photos of, and one of my photographers at the magazine used to do this at 303 magazine used to spin the steel wool, and it was like he was always running from the police. But he was like also climbing on top of buildings and cranes and stuff. Yeah,
that's a big one too.
That's one way. Yeah,
jumping exploration photography, which I mean, I guess I don't really condone like breaking and entering and trespassing, but a lot of those pictures, it's sort of like a byproduct of every available photo having already been taken of a cityscape where millions of people live, and they're always trying to take a unique photo. And then you have these extreme people that go and they do get a more unique view of the city from that perspective. And then you do ultimately end up with some pretty cool photos from it. So it's kind of cool. I guess drones are kind of helping with that too. Cause you could now, and I know driving around Denver all the time, if you're on the highway around it or something, sometimes you'll get a glimpse of the city and you're like, damn, it'd be nice if I could get out, get a long lens and capture that light that's happening right now. But there's really not a safe place to pull off and do that, which is frustrating. And with a drone, if you got into that general area, you could get out of the way of all the power lines and stuff like that.
But then you don't have like that telephoto look.
Well, some of them can zoom. I think actually pretty soon here, we'll see a couple of drones, especially. That's like really the only direction DJI or any of the other major drone companies could go to make a new drone stand out from the older ones, sell more, especially with the regulations that are involved. Like it's got to be worth it, right? If you're going to go out and set up this whole flight system and get the license and register your drone and everything. And, it's a lot of work actually. As easy as the drones are to fly now, it's still a lot to like consider and plan out and make sure you're not going to get caught or do something wrong or put somebody in danger. So I think adding the telephoto capability is going to be pretty useful. There's already one that does. They've got the two Mavics. They've got the Mavic Pro 2, which is like a 1-inch sense. It's a 24 mil equivalent, like 1-inch sensor from Sony with aperture control. So you can go to like f/22 or something if you want. Most of them are a fixed aperture, like the older ones. So they're like fixed at f/2.8 or something. So in the middle of the day, it's like, really bad. But the second version of that drone, which is like the same price or like $100 less or something like that, is a slightly smaller sensor, but it has like a 24 to 50 equivalent zoom or something like that. And 50 is decent versus the typical wide angle that they have.
Yeah. They have cranes at Coors Field, the purple, right? And I've wanted to get on those cranes since they put them up.
Yeah.
And that was like my goal. was trying to get up there before, like at the beginning of the season, and now that goal maybe, but they're still doing construction on it, I think. So not 100% sure how long those cranes are going to be up, but I don't think I'm getting up on those cranes anymore. If I had a chance. But I thought that view would have been sweet because you could look over the ballpark, you could look to the right, and you would see all of Denver.
I still think there's hope for you to get up on that crane.
I'm glad that you have, you're looking on the bright side of things.
Katie says she would have been annoyed, and wedding timelines are very crunched and wedding days, and it seems a little inappropriate. I guess, yeah, this could be taken like any different way. I would have had to have been there to kind of gauge the mood. I guess it depends on the photographer too, if they are.
The guy was wearing Chucks, so he's like the groom was wearing like Chuck Taylor, so I think he was pretty laid back.
Yeah, I don't know. I think ultimately it probably shouldn't be done.
Right.
Probably
don't come up to the middle of my photo shoot and ask if you can take pictures of the people I'm taking pictures of, because I'm going to say no.
But clearly it worked for him.
It did,
because it's got a lot of either whether it was negative or positive press is press. So he got a lot of, and especially with the internet, if you do anything that gets a rise out of people, it's gonna get you higher up. So it worked for him. I guess.
The next thing I wanted to talk about, Mitch, just to jump subjects, is portrait sessions through streaming apps, specifically like FaceTime.
Yeah.
And I've seen this is another article I saw on a couple of photo blogs, and then one of the guys that we hope to have on the Facebook Live on Friday, Jason, he's also doing this, and so I'm interested to see like more of that. The link on Petapixel, and maybe I'll link it here. The light that this guy, whoever was doing these portraits on FaceTime, whoever was doing these portraits had some decent light. Like it looked pretty good. I'm gonna put it in the comments right now. But if you're watching and you want to click it later, or you can click it now while we're talking, click that and you'll see all these crazy, all these cool photos of through FaceTime. So it's an interesting idea. I don't know what the rules are about showing someone else's like website on our stream, but I'm going to do it anyways. See what happens here. But this is on Petapixels. Can you see it, Mitch?
I just pulled it up.
Oh, but I'm going to show the people. Can you see it on the screen?
I could see the first couple images. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. So we've got this. This is kind of cool. I like the greens and yellows. So I thought it was pretty interesting. I like this one.
That's I guess that if anything, that should give some. I think there's a lot of fear involved in terms of like how good cell phones and things are getting for people. A lot of photographers are kind of just assuming that their days are numbered, and this would be proof that that's really maybe not the case. Maybe for some people that are relying entirely on gear to get the job done, but this is we know how poor quality FaceTime is.
That's true.
And you're getting some really creative and cool images out of that. So I think that's awesome. Getting really creative with stuff like that, and that just shows kind of the skill that's out there right now.
Yeah, we'll have to ask Jason about it since he's done like 2 of them. So
yeah,
the first one was
awesome.
First one was okay. The second one I was like, wow, this looks kind of like a photo.
Yeah.
So
I guess you don't have to do a lot of skin smoothing.
That's true. Yeah, that'd be perfect. Mitch, if you could shoot any film camera right now, what would you shoot?
Probably that one that you were shooting. The big old. What did you get?
Hasselblad?
No. What were you just shooting? That big
4x5?
Yeah.
Yeah, I shot. Oh yeah, that's a good story.
I saw on your Instagram story you were shooting AD and what looked like some pretty cool light, and I'm excited to see that photo.
Let me see if I can share. Yeah, I have to take it to Denver Digital Imaging. I think they're still open right now, but yeah, this is my Instagram, everyone. Let's see. Oh, there's my girlfriend getting on a motorcycle. There we go.
Yeah, that looks like it'll be a very. I like
Yeah.
that he's far away from the background, and we get to see what 4x5 depth will look like.
Exactly. I shot this at, I think it's a 150 millimeter lens,
And that's like a what, like a 50?
or maybe it's a 200. I don't know. I have to double check. I'm still not super educated on my 4x5. I just
Me
Googled,
either.
I Googled how to load the film.
Mhm.
And then I do know that you have to, like, before you pull it, you got to make sure your aperture's closed, because or the shutter's closed.
Yeah, otherwise you can
otherwise-
overexpose it like crazy.
Well, yeah, it'll be
Yeah.
blank. So I did a bunch of test runs first, and then we waited for the good light to hit our backyard, and I shot it wide open, in this case 6.3, and it'll be interesting to see what it looks like.
What speed film was it?
Oh, there's me with my new mask. It's FP. It's Ilford.
Is it black and white?
Yeah, it's 125 speed.
Oh,
don't know.
okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I look forward to shooting it. It's expired. It was expired in like 2012, but it's been in the freezer ever since. So it'll be good.
Yeah, I guess other than that camera, which looks really fun to shoot, I enjoy. I really just like shooting my grandpa's camera. I have my grandpa's AE1.
Okay.
That I really like using. So
Yeah.
for the emotional connection, which I think a
Right.
lot of people have an emotional film camera that they enjoy.
Dude, it's the worst when someone comes in with like a camera and they want to get it fixed, and you kind of got an inkling like that this camera means something to them, and it's just like beyond repair.
Yeah, it's easy to look at like a point and shoot from like 2001 or something and be like, this is toast. But when a film camera comes in and it's not repairable, it's like you always got to assume that this is a sentimental item to that person. So
it's going to cost so much to fix, if it's even fixable.
To them, it it may be totally worth the $200 to $300 it takes to fix something, and months of waiting in a lot of cases because parts are not available. But I know how that is.
Right.
Nobody knows that better than me on wanting to spend a lot of money. So
right.
But
you have an F100, right?
Well, technically it's not mine.
But do you have it with you, right? Yeah, but
I do.
Is it here? Okay,
yeah, I've got it with me. That's a really sweet camera.
F100 is top 3 film cameras that I love.
It's got such a good grip.
Yeah, the grip is nice. I have an F5 here at home, which is similar, because you can still use those G lenses on it, right? Mm-hmm. So you don't need to worry about the G lenses. I slapped last 4th of July. I always do like a film project around 4th of July at the Rockies, just to kind of get creative. And last summer I shot some more film, and then I put on the Sigma art lenses on the F5.
Yeah, and
shot film with the Sigma art lenses, and that stuff was crispy.
I totally agree. I definitely I kind of shop around a little bit at those used. We get a lot of Sigma 35s in, used 35s for Nikon, and that would look great. A lot of times I've been using, my favorite lens for that is this Nikon 135 f2, which
you bought that, huh?
I've had this for a while.
Oh, really?
That's a E-mount adapter on it, but it's gotcha. Normally just that size. But like the rear element is just like,
oh yeah,
right there. So, which I always thought was kind of cool about that lens. But I actually don't like this lens. It's just like the one I've taken probably my favorite images with.
I just take really good photos with this lens, but I don't like it.
I don't like it. I don't like using it. It's annoying to use because it's really heavy, and the focus ring on it, the front element is so heavy that it throws off this focus ring a little bit. And if you just barely touch it, it'll really throw the whole thing off. And since it's such a narrow depth of field, a lot of the time, it's like you're constantly checking your focus, and it's kind of annoying, but I mean, it's got good results. So
yeah, checking your focus on a 4x5 camera, I realized yesterday, is ridiculous.
Yeah,
I kept yelling at my roommate AD. I was like, "Do not move," and then I'd be like, and then he would like move sideways a little bit, and then come back to center. And I'm like, did you move? He goes, no. And I'm like, but I saw you move. And then I'm like, okay. And like the light is coming and going because there were clouds and stuff. And so I'm just like ripping the film back out, looking through the glass again, and then sticking it back in and then running and just, it was a mess.
How much is one of those shots?
I don't know yet. That's the thing. I have yet to bring my film to get developed.
But when you bought the film, it was.
Oh, I didn't buy the film.
How much would it have been worth though if you did?
I'm not sure. I think it said like $50, $45.
Yeah, for like how many shots?
There's 25 shots.
Okay. Well, that's a lot.
It's cheaper than Polaroid film.
That's actually that's true. Polaroid film is it's cool, but I think maybe they think they're a little cooler than it is.
Like lower your price.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I hear it's not as expensive to get 4x5 film developed and scanned as it is 35 millimeter film. So, but you're doing more of it, I guess. I'm not sure if they break it down by the sheet or whatnot. That'll be a good episode here because I can tell you guys all about going to get my film developed.
I want 4x5 Portra. I don't even think they make that.
They do make 4x5 Portra.
Do they?
Yeah. I think so.
Technically they do, but do they cut it to that size?
Yeah, I don't know. Portra. 4x5 Portra 400. Boom. $53.90. Do some research before that blasphemy comes out of your mouth.
I've never seen it. I've never even seen a 4x5 camera.
We had some at the camera shop. But.
Well, I mean, before that. I've only worked at the camera store for a year, so
that's true. You're still a noob, kind of.
Well, I worked at another camera store for many years, so
right.
They just didn't have a lot of film equipment. That's where I got that 135. Some guy came in, and we didn't really deal in film equipment. They they would just, it didn't matter what it was. Somebody could have walked in with like an F5 and you would have been like, we would only give you $10 for it because we put it on a shelf as a decoration. So they never sold any of that equipment.
Okay.
So I actually got a couple of things like really cheap because I paid about $300 for that lens though, because I wasn't about to like rip this guy off. He like,
let me tell you,
a lot of people that came in didn't know what they had. So.
Well, that's the case at Inglewood Camera too, and I think we do a pretty good job of telling people like this is what it's worth. This one time though, a customer came in. He was a good customer of ours, and he brought in two 35 millimeter Olympus Epic the camera shell point and shoot cameras, like the holy grail, right? And he said, I just found these in a drawer. I don't have any like room for them. And you could just take them. And I said, if these work, you have to let me give you money for these. And he was like, no. And I was like, if these cameras work, you have to let me give you some money for these because each of them was worth like $300.
Yeah, those are really popular.
Yeah, super. The Olympic Stylus Epic. And so he like kept refusing, and then finally he said, you can have one, and then pay for the other one. And I was just like mind blown. So I have an Olympus Stylus Epic. Ooh, say that 5 times fast. Olympus Stylus Epic. I can't do it. But yeah, that's how I got my Olympus Stylus Epic because I was just like nice to the guy. I told him I should probably pay you like $150 for each of these.
Yeah. And
he said no. So we should do a whole episode on like crazy camera come ups, like ARC store purchases and stuff like that. Maybe that's when we'll have Randy on.
Yeah,
Randy, if you're listening right now, we need to get you on here so you can talk about the crazy time you found a Yashica T4 at the ARC for like $4.
Yeah, Randy is like, he's always in the store. He's basically like a walking encyclopedia of cameras, like film cameras. He knows like just about everything about like cameras you've never even heard of.
Right.
I think the last one he was telling me about was this massive camera that photographed like trains, and it was made entirely out of wood. It was basically just like, it was picture like a house or a shed with a lens on the front. Like that's what the camera was. And it had a giant, just massive negative, but we should get one of those.
Yeah.
I bet Portra makes that size too, huh?
Probably do. Let me show you this photo of this expired FK film. that I put in. It's black and white. It's made in Russia.
Is it that blue stuff you sent?
Yeah, dude, it was crazy looking. I just want to share with everyone on the broadcast what it looked like because it was pretty crazy. Here it is. Look at this thing. It was expired 2012, but it like was glowing blue. Like I stretched it across my girlfriend's FM2 and it was like bright neat. It looks like that kind of like that fruit roll up, you know? It looked like that. So we'll see. It's in the camera now. I don't know where I'm going to take it to get developed, but I will. I'm running out of film. I'm going to have to call the camera shop and have them send me more film.
I know. I pretty much, as soon as we went in this whole virus thing, I just like stopped shooting because I was like, well, what? How am I going to get this developed? So I have like half a roll shot right now on my
just
my AE1.
Shoot it all.
What am I going to do? Where am I going to go to shoot it? Like I was thinking about maybe finally going to some trail around here at some point, but
I don't know.
I don't want people to think I'm
not abiding by the rules.
Right. You know, everybody's like, it's okay to go outside. And then I'm like, but is it? Like,
what baseball shirt do you have on right now? Do you have a baseball shirt on?
Try not to suck, baby.
Try not to suck. Mine says
Madnism.
Bad hop, and it's missing teeth. It's a funny story because I took a ground ball to the face once and lost a tooth, and so I can relate real good to this shirt. Yeah, we can end it on that if you want.
Geez, these go by really quick.
You know, once you start chatting, it's like, man, how come hours at the camera store don't go by this fast?
I know, because
we're not talking this much,
right?
And obvious shirts shout out. But later on this week, on Wednesday we've got Mark Morris from Tamron. Woo, drawing a blank there. We just made a big announcement earlier this morning about it, and then he's going to be on. It might go an hour. It might go an hour and a half. He seems pretty pumped, so I hope you brought your caffeine with you.
Yeah, well, that'll be a exciting one because we got some cool new stuff to talk about with him. So.
Yeah. So Tamron and Mark Morris are going to be on Wednesday afternoon or Wednesday at 5:15, and then Thursday I've got Gabriel. He is the team photographer for the Broncos. He's going to jump on. We're going to talk about shooting football for a team, and then he also shoots some film every now and then, I think. So we're going to talk to him maybe a little bit about film. So bring your questions, everyone. If you've ever wanted to ask the Broncos team photographer a question, he'll be on the show. And then on Friday, we've got Jason. He shoots a lot of the EDM artists that happen to play up at Red Rocks. He's also part owner of one of the stores that we were going to have our camera shop pop up at. So we can talk about that and whatnot.
I'm really bummed about those two things because I can see Red Rocks from my apartment.
Can you really?
I can. And I was really pumped for like the summer because I was like, oh, I could see it all lit up from the apartment during concerts. And now it's like, are they going to get to do any concerts? And then the pop-up shop that was another thing I'm kind of bummed about. True. I really wanted to go do that, but
we've got all these great film cameras sitting back there ready to go.
Well, maybe we'll get better weather for it anyway, and then
exactly.
Better,
so cool. So yeah, if any of those guests kind of pique your interest, make sure you tune in again on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And tomorrow, still trying to find a guest, trying to talk my boss at the Avalanche into joining us, but he's building a garage right now, so he's kind of busy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sweet. Awesome. What are you going to eat for dinner today, Mitch?
What am I going to eat for dinner? I got a frozen pizza.
Frozen pizza? You're just living that frozen pizza life?
Yeah. I've got frozen pizza. I've got pizza pockets. I've got breadsticks. I mean,
oh man, dude.
I'm not Italian, but
do you have a gym? Do you have a gym at your apartment?
I have a yoga mat. Does that count?
You have a yoga mat? Hey, man.
Yeah.
Stretch it out, you know? You're gonna need to after all that frozen pizza and mozzarella sticks.
Well, I do enough at Amazon anyway. I go up enough stairs, so I think I'm good.
That's true. Yeah, you can walk it out. And then my friend's new girlfriend is a marketing manager at Chick-fil-A in Las Vegas, and he sent me like 900 like gifts. So now I have like free biscuits and free chicken and free sweet tea and maybe I'll be a good friend to you, Mitch.
Oh,
maybe
no,
and I'll send one to you every once in a while.
No, I don't need it. No, that's fine.
You're good?
It's good. Yeah, I'm good. That's fine. I don't
taking a break from Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, I don't need any of that. Come on. I'm not sure why I wasn't the first person contacted, but
yeah. So I'll think about, parting ways with like one of 5 combo gift receipts. So
they need to start selling that sauce in the bottle.
Yeah.
That's like, then I'll be able to eat
anything.
Yeah. I could just put Chick-fil-A sauce on it. I'll eat it. I could eat broccoli.
Sound like me. All right. This has been Camera Shop Talk for April 6th. I'm so embarrassed that I put April 4th. I didn't even know what day it was at the beginning of this, but now I do. 5:47 Mountain Time. I finally know what day it is. So cool. Thanks for everyone for watching. We'll be back tomorrow, and we'll talk more about cameras and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Sound good?
Bye, Mom.